Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to a brand new video. And today we're going to be talking about the largest Democratic Senate majority for the 2020 presidential election. I'm kind of mad right now because I just recorded this video twice. And the first time someone texted me and it came up on my screen and like you could see their name and profile picture, so I don't like to show that in my videos. And then the second time, my screen recorder just glitched out, and I didn't realize I just was talking to no one for the final few minutes of the video, so that was annoying. But I'm gonna, because you guys probably don't care about that, so I'm just gonna fill out the states that would be safe in the best case scenario for the Democratic Party in the U.S. Senate. Again, this is not my normal prediction, but for the purposes of entertainment and trying to provide you guys with content, because I will be in school on Monday, obviously, and I need to record some videos. Here it is, and I'm also going to do the same thing for Republicans, so you can chill out. Alright, so these would be all the safe GOP states in a best case scenario for the GOP, or in the best case scenario for the Democrats. I think only 36, yeah, because, you know, usually you'd see Louisiana and Tennessee and West Virginia be safe, but again, Tennessee's an open seat. Louisiana, if you have high enough black turnout, Democrats can win there, and not win there, but make it close. And then in West Virginia, you know, it's hard to know know what to expect, because Paul Jean Swearengin is progressive, and there's this whole argument from progressives that the DNC establishment doesn't like to nominate progressives. So we don't know whether progressives can do well or not against a Republican in a state like West Virginia or Kentucky. But I'm skeptical of Paul Jean Swearengin. I think that like if the Democrats really wanted to win in West Virginia, they should have went with Ojeda. But he lost the primary, so whatever. All right, so you know, some of these states I don't usually like to characterize as safe, including Colorado, Minnesota, Illinois, and New Hampshire. So Colorado, Colorado is this, like, I don't like to characterize. Oh, oopsies. I don't like to characterize incumbents losing by a safe margin because it just feels weird. So like I do the same thing for Alabama, and Minnesota has been considered safe by a lot of political reports. But I don't characterize it to be safe because it is Minnesota, and Tina Smith, I don't think she's going to outperform Joe Biden by that much to be able to win it by a safe margin. But in a best case scenario, she would. And lastly, in New Hampshire, Illinois. I guess people are saying that I like to characterize Illinois as a likely, and that's because of Williamson playing the spoiler effect for Dick Durbin. So I know he's not going to win, and Durbin's going to win, but just playing it safe and characterizing it as likely is the way that I like to go. But in the best case scenario, Wilson wouldn't really have that profound of an effect. And then in New Hampshire, you know, Jean Shaheen is pretty popular running against a no-name Don Bullock, so not really a big concern for the Democrats. It just comes down to the margins. So now the likely Democrat states: Arizona, Michigan, North Carolina, and Maine would all be likely, putting them at 50. So this is everyone's Senate prediction right here, where you have Democrats at 50 seats. My prediction, my normal prediction, by the way, has these seats at plus Montana. So yeah, but talking about the state of Arizona, honestly, Martha McSally is in big trouble. I mean, she lost to Kirsten Sinema in 2018, and she was in better. I mean, she was ahead in the polling. She was expected to win, but she didn't win. And then now she's running against Mark Kelly, who is a popular astronaut. I've actually met Mark Kelly's brother, Scott Kelly, but yeah, I mean, she's in big trouble. She literally said, "So if you could save a meal and donate to my camp, or fast for the one meal and donate to my campaign, that would help me out." Like that's messed up. So she's on the path to defeat, and probably not by a safe margin at best case scenario, but she'd lose by like 11. So yeah. And then going over the state of Michigan, I don't expect John James to win here, and similar to Arizona, I characterize Michigan as likely in all my regular predictions, but I see James losing by like 6 or 7, but in a best case scenario for Peters, he'd win by like 11 or 12. Now, North Carolina, this is a bold statement right here because I generally don't like to characterize swing states as likely. Like Arizona, I'll go with because of how popular Mark Kelly is, but North Carolina, not really, because I understand that Tom Tillis is unpopular and that Cunningham is absolutely destroying him in polling, and I do think Cunningham's going to win by a lean margin, though, so, yeah, but in a best-case scenario, he'd maybe go upwards of 5 and win by 6 or 7. Maine, we're assuming that Collins continues her downward trend in approval rating, and all the Republicans who voted for her don't turn out for her, all the independents turn against her, and all the Democrats who voted for her in 2014 are like, you voted for Kavanaugh, I'm done with you, and then go to Gideon. So that could happen, and it would make her lose by a likely margin. Right, now the likely GOP states are all the states that I didn't characterize as safe. Mississippi would still be likely. I get that Mike Espy is a strong candidate, but we're talking about a state that really does not go like Democrats ever. And, I understand, for example, Kentucky, they have a Democrat governor, and they don't like Democrats at the Senate level, so that's different than Mississippi. Mississippi is more diverse for sure, but they just have not voted a Democrat in at the statewide level since I think either it was the 90s or the early 2000s. And if a Democrat did win there, it would be like a Dixiecrat or maybe someone like a conservative Democrat. So, and by the way, Dixiecrats are not really part of the party anymore. Like they're all going to the Republicans. Like you have that Georgia State representative. I'm forgetting his name. He was a former Democrat, but he spoke at the RNC, and he was basically he was just a Dixiecrat. So that wasn't really that surprising that he was going to turn against Joe Biden. Yeah, but all the safe states that I haven't already filled out would be likely, plus Mississippi, just because that's the way it is. Lean states, Montana, Iowa, and probably Georgia. Again, I'm kind of doing this video on the fly because I have school on Monday and I need to record, so I better just get some stuff out. But Montana, starting out with Montana, Montana, Bullock, popular governor. He was ahead in the early polling, but since then it's kind of turned in Daines' favor. He is more popular than Daines at a statewide level, and he has won on the same ballot as Donald Trump, so I do think Bullock's going to narrowly win, but it's going to be by a till margin. However, in the best case scenario for the Democrats, he win it by like 4. Basically the same margin he won his 2016 governor race by. Maybe by a little less, though. Iowa. Joni Ernst is unpopular. I understand she's behind the polling, but I don't think she's going to lose. From the bottom of my heart, I just don't see Greenfield winning because polls in Iowa statewide tend to underestimate GOP support. But in the best case scenario, she would lose because this is basically a toss-up race. So obviously, in the best case scenario, you win on the toss-ups. Georgia, I don't think Ossoff's going to win because of voter suppression mostly. But it's tough to say that Ossoff doesn't win in a best case scenario for the Democrats. Right now, we're going to do our lean GOP states. I'm only going to do one, and that's South Carolina. And I'm going to give it to Graham. Look, I don't think that Harrison doesn't have a chance. I just don't think he's going to win. I mean, he's out fundraising Graham. He's decently popular, even with some independents. And he's somewhat liberal, I guess. But I don't think he's going to be able to beat Graham. I mean, Graham's the incumbent in a red state. So, kind of what's happening in Kentucky. All right, now we're going to go let's go to the tilt Democrat states. And I'm going to touch, I think, 3. Alaska, 4 actually. Alaska, Kansas, Alabama, Kentucky. So, call me crazy, but I'm going to, whoopsies. I'm going to touch Texas, and I'm going to give, what's that one? Oh, it's Georgia Special. So, Texas and Georgia Special, I don't think would go Democrat in the best case scenario. And I understand Georgia Special is, you're going to say UAP, but Georgia Special is in the same state that the other election is, and you're giving it to the Democrats. Well, Georgia Special, you have 2 Democrats running who are pretty weak against two Republicans. One of them is a weak candidate, that's Kelly Loeffler, and one of them is a strong candidate, that's Doug Collins. what's going to happen is Collins is going to get like 2/3 of the GOP vote. Lieberman and Warnock are going to split. Collins is probably going to go to the runoff with Warnock, and he's going to win by 6 or 7 points. That's exactly what's going to happen. So I want to characterize it as tilt Democrat in the best case scenario, but this is hard to do just because of how unfavorable the circumstances are to the Democrats. In Texas, John Cornyn is just popular. I mean, he's not too popular, but he's much better than Ted Cruz, and Ted Cruz messed up so much, and he still won. So, yeah. All right, now Alaska. Dan Sullivan is he's kind of like Steve Daines in that he's not unpopular, but he's not too known. So that goes in Al Gross's favor. But again, but the difference between Montana and Alaska is that Steve Bullock is a popular governor. Al Gross is an unknown surgeon. So look, Al Gross, I think he's a good candidate, but people just don't know him well enough to be able to give him a solid victory, you know. So, best case scenario, he probably wins by, I think, 1.5 or something like that. Because, again, we're assuming that he gets some of the Republican voters for some reason, gets all the Democrats on his side, and all the independents. And remember, he's running as an independent, but he's going to caucus with the Democrats. So, yeah. And Kansas and Kentucky and Alabama. Now, Kansas, I thought Klobuchar was going to win the primary, so I used to characterize this as a safe Democrat, or as a likely, oh my goodness, tilt Democrat state at the Senate level. But, unfortunately for the Democrats, Kobach, who is a racist, homophobic, is very Islamophobic and divisive. So he didn't deserve to be in the Senate. So in a way, it's good that he lost his primary, but whatever. So Marshall is just a normal Republican. He's like just a regular Republican who's just going to win and be able to beat Bollier probably by like 9 or 10 points, because Bollier is a conservative Democrat, former Republican, so she's going to get some GOP voters who are just sick and tired of the establishment, and mostly the independents. But in the best case scenario, the GOP, what happens is all the independents and Democrats go for Bollier, and basically the Republicans say, I'm sick and tired of the establishment, I'm going to vote for, some of them are going to go for Bollier, and then all the Kobach people who voted for him in the primary are just going to stay home because they believe that the establishment rigged it against them. And by the way, I've been horrible with primaries. I got Kansas wrong, I got Louisiana wrong, I got Tennessee wrong. I think so back in like February, I thought Sessions was going to win Alabama, but then I changed my mind and changed it to Tuberville in like May. I'm pretty sure I got West Virginia wrong, because I thought Ojeda was going to win West Virginia, and I got New Jersey wrong because I thought that Hersching was going to beat Rick Mehta, but that didn't happen. But the fact of the matter is, I'm not very good with primaries, and there's one coming up in Massachusetts, so be sure to go to my live stream for that. But going back to Alabama, or Kansas, yeah, that's what happened in Alabama. Doug Jones, the incumbent, basically all the people who voted for him because it was Roy Moore, just started like, Doug Jones wasn't that bad. He's a moderate Democrat, and they just vote for him again. For some reason, it's not going to happen, but whatever. And then in Kentucky, call me crazy, but Amy McGrath has a chance here. She's not the favorite to win, but she has a chance here. And what happens is all the Republicans finally turn against McConnell and say, I'm sick and tired of you. We need change, and vote for McGrath, who is a conservative Democrat. So that's what happens in a best case scenario for the Democrats. Maybe they win in Mississippi. Maybe they win. Maybe Texas. Maybe it's closer in South Carolina. Maybe it's closer in West Virginia. But that's my prediction for Democrats' best case scenario. So guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Be on the lookout for the Republican Senate Majority video coming out after this. And also, if you can, donate to my Patreon. Although it's only if you can afford a meal alongside it. So don't fast, just donate to my Patreon. So, and then also be sure to follow Instagram if you haven't already. That doesn't cost anything. So see you guys later today, or tomorrow maybe. I'm not sure when I'm going to post this.